This video demonstrates how to install 1Password on Ubuntu Linux. I will walk through all the steps and provide explanations as I go along. I'm making a few assumptions in this video. First, I assume that you're a current 1Password user and that you use Dropbox to synchronize your 1Password vault between all of your devices. I assume your web browser is Firefox and that you'll be downloading 1Password 4. Lastly, I assume that you're installing 1Password on Ubuntu Linux version 14.10. Before we get started, I want to give you an overview of the steps. First, I will show you how to install Wine. This is the Windows emulator that we will be using to install and run 1Password. Next, I will show you how to install Dropbox. After that, I will cover downloading and installing 1Password using Wine. And lastly, I'll show you how to run 1Password. Before we get started, let me just say, there are probably many different ways that you can do all of these things, and I don't claim that my methods are the best. They're just what worked for me, and I wanted to share them with you. So with that said, let's get started. The first step is to install Wine. Open up a terminal window and type in the following command. sudo apt-get install wine. Let's go over what you are typing here. Starting with the command sudo. That stands for substitute user do. This tells the computer to run this command at a higher permission level than your current user account. You will probably need to prefix commands with sudo if you're making system level changes. In this case, installing Wine needs this higher permission level. The next part of this command, apt-get install, tells the built-in package manager to install whatever follows it. In this case, it's Wine. Enter this command and type in your password. The Ubuntu Package Manager will figure out all of the dependencies for Wine and make a list of everything that it needs to download and install to get it to run. It will also tell you how much space you can expect these new additions to use. Type Y for yes and enter it to begin the installation. Okay, somewhere in the middle of the install, you'll be asked to accept an end-user license agreement from Microsoft to use the TrueType fonts that you'll see on Windows. Click OK. Now you might need to tap the Tab key to get to the OK. Press the Tab key again to get to Yes. Once the installer is done, it will set you back at the command line prompt. The next step is to install Dropbox. Open up the Ubuntu Software Center and search for Dropbox. Click on the Install button. Enter your password and click Authenticate. Dropbox installation will start. When it's done, quit the Ubuntu Software Center and click on the new Dropbox icon in your launcher. A Dropbox setup window will open. Enter your account information here. Dropbox will contact the mothership and authenticate your account. At this point, you have a couple of options. You can click on the Open My Dropbox folder, and everything on your Dropbox account will start to sync with this computer. Alternatively, you can click on the Advanced Settings. Under this menu, you can pick specific folders to synchronize. This will be helpful if you only want to synchronize a small part of a large Dropbox account. After clicking on one of these options, you will see your existing Dropbox information start to populate. Close out of this file viewer. Now we will download and install 1Password using Wine. We'll start by going to the Agile Bits website. Go ahead and type in the URL that you see here. Click on 1Password. We want to install the Windows installer, so click on Windows. Then click on the Download It Now button. You'll be prompted to save the installer file. Click on the Save File button. Once the download is done, you can close your web browser. Firefox puts downloaded files in your Downloads folder. Let's go there now. We'll switch to the terminal and change the directory to Downloads. So type in cd space downloads. List the contents of this directory and look for the 1Password executable file. Depending on when you downloaded this file, it might have a slightly different file name. So keep that in mind when you're issuing the next command. You'll want to enter what you see on your computer, not what's shown on mine. Install 1Password by issuing the following command. Wine 1Password, as seen in your file system. Wine will fire up the 1Password installer. Eventually, you'll be greeted by the 1Password setup wizard. Click Next. Accept the default installation location by clicking the Next button. Since we are using Ubuntu and not Windows, we don't have a start menu. Click the checkbox for the Don't Create Start Menu folder and click the Next button. Click on the Create Desktop icon to add a 1Password icon to your desktop. Click Install, and Wine will chug away. When the 1Password installer is done, click the Finish button. The last thing we need to do is start 1Password. Double-click on the 1Password icon on your desktop. Select the choice I have used 1Password before. Navigate to your 1Password vault in Dropbox. Enter your 1Password master password. Keep in mind, this is not my real account, and my master password is about 30 characters long. Remember, the longer your password, the better off you'll be. Okay, now you're done. You can see that 1Password has all the information that you currently have in your 1Password account. Thanks for watching this how-to video about installing 1Password on Ubuntu Linux. If this helped you, please leave a review. You can check out the text version of this how-to on my blog, eduardosanchez.me. Goodbye.